Representatives from different organizations, including the Center for Studies on New Religions in Italy, Bitter Winter Magazine, and Human Rights Without Frontiers from Belgium, select different countries each year to host forums on human rights and religious freedom. In April 2023, for the first time, a group of 12 international human rights scholars from 8 countries visited Taiwan. They met with Minister of Legislative Yuan Liu Xikun, Minister of Control Yuan Chen Ju, and members of the National Human Rights Commission. The scholars, who have long been devoted to monitoring human rights issues worldwide, have previously participated in conferences organized by the Taiwanese government or civil society organizations. They are aware that even after Taiwan's transition from martial law, there are still many unresolved cases of human rights persecution. As part of their visits, they made time to visit the Swiss mountain villa, the site of the longest and most extensive persecution case of the Tai Ji Men case, which took place after the February 28 incident in the White Terror era. This visit provided them with a deeper understanding of the challenges that Taiwan faces.
Coming out from the dictatorship is not always easy, especially in dealing with human rights. And sometimes human rights issues can even survive after the finish of the dictatorship.
This is very, again, touching. And when you see things like that, you wonder, how can people do these things to other people?
I think it's a terrible consequence of an old violation of human rights, which has not been repaired, and as a consequence of course it's only material, but for the hope of the disease, it's much more than only material, meaning that the worst thing that you can do to someone is to kill his dreams. And it's a bit of a killed dream, that place, so I can feel the pain and the sorrow of the disease, and I can surely advise any possible reparation of this.
The building located at the Swiss mountain villa in Xizhi was initially planned by Dr. Hong Daozi, the Grandmaster of Tai Ji Men, as a place for physical and mental cultivation of Tai Ji Men disciples and the preservation of cultural heritage. However, due to the Tai Ji Men case that occurred at the end of 1996, the property was confiscated, prohibited from disposal, and eventually sealed off. It wasn't until 24 years later, on August 25, 2020, that the authorities returned the villa. By that time, it had become an irreparable ruin, serving as a stark reminder of Taiwan's failure to human rights protection.
And that's the pain of people who had built this place and saw this place destroyed or no longer available for its original intended use. And that, of course, is extremely painful. And the pain is something which cannot be put in figures and money. And I believe we can perceive the damage which can be done when conscience is forgotten. Nobody wants to lose faith. But among intelligent people, and perhaps with the help of international friends, I believe everybody should sit at the table and find a political solution, because now the government of Taiwan holds this land in Miaoli, and I believe the first political gesture to be done is to give back to Tai Ji Men this land. Also the honor and the reputation and dignity of Tai Ji Men, Shifu and Dizi.
I was impressed and shocked at the same time, because I didn't expect to see such an amount of buildings that were in ruins and in such situations for many years. The Tai Ji Men case is known worldwide now. It's not only a domestic matter, but there is a lot of concern so that justice can be made in this case. That was a mistake of the history. The transitional justice did not work correctly, and Tai Ji Men is a victim of that lack of transitional justice. That's
political decision that we call, like it can be overtaken for the reasons, for security reasons, international reputation and prestige, and independence reasons. Because if this problem remains unsolved, you continue to talking, the enemies of Taiwan, they may use this against Taiwan, and that is security reason for Taiwan. So I believe that if the government and parliament understands this way of thinking, that's what we're suggesting, so then it may be settled.
Tai Ji Men case was categorized by the control yuan as a significant human rights violation. In 2007, the Supreme Court rendered a verdict of innocence and non-tax liability after 3 trials. In 2009, the victims received compensation for being wrongfully detained. However, to this day, the Tai Ji Men's another plant site in Miaoli, which was illegally sealed, confiscated, and auctioned, has not been returned even after 27 years. This case has garnered international attention, with scholars and experts urging the Taiwanese government not to ignore the issue. They emphasize the urgent need to promptly return the unlawfully auctioned assets Tai Ji Men and issue an apology and compensation, so that the basic rights granted by the constitutions can be protected.